Hello and welcome to Ryno's Ravens preview. It's the final game of the year, or final game of the regular season, I should say. As you can see here, I'm on the BaltimoreRavens.com looking at the injuries for this week. Yes, Lamar Jackson is out again. No idea if he'll play on the playoffs. We don't know yet. Ravens staff is very tight-lipped, so we shall just have to see. Other names to note on here, Calais Campbell and Tyler Huntley are both questionable. Campbell with his knee, Huntley with his shoulder/wrist. As you can also see on this list, there is apparently an illness going through the locker room. As you can see, several members of the team are listed with an illness. You see Boyle, Deshaun Jackson, Kevon Seymour, Brandon Stevens. Some of them are listed as questionable. I think some of that is due to maybe some of the other injuries they may have. As you can see, Seymour has a finger injury. So we'll just have to wait and see. Probably going to play, but who knows? So let's go to this article written by Clifton Brown, BaltimoreRavens.com staff writer. And let's scroll all the way down to the stakes. As most of the world, or I guess the country, knows, Damar Hamlin, serious incident in the last game between the Bills and the Bengals. The latest update I've seen on the internet is that he is breathing on his own, but is by no means out of the woods yet. Now they are not going to replay or continue playing that game. So it's going to have serious playoff implications behind them not playing that game. So the NFL, as you can see written here by Clifton Brown, the NFL and the Commissioner Roger Goodell has made a special resolution dealio thing that if the Ravens are set to meet the Bengals in a wild card game, that the Ravens might be able to host it if they win a coin toss. Okay. I guess that's a resolution. I don't know. I don't really think so. I know the events in that Bills and Bengals game were tragic, but if you're going to continue playing this season, I think you have to play that game. It's just a lot of things at stake for a lot of other players and teams and organizations. I mean, if the Bengals had lost and the Ravens won the next week against the Bengals, then the Ravens would be the division winner. But there's no chance for that now. Yes, largely that is because the Ravens have not been playing well, but sometimes it's just how it goes. You do rely on how your division rivals play other games to determine the divisional seeding. And before you go and say that I'm cold and heartless for thinking they should play that game after the tragic event, I know war and football are a little different, but I served 2 tours in Iraq. I am Army infantry. I know exactly how those players feel. May not be exactly, because war and football are different, but I've been in similar situations. The only difference is, and I know Hamlin's not out of the woods, but my friends didn't live. And there was no chance for them to live. At least the ones I'm thinking about. I do think they could have fit the game in. The COVID year, they were pushing games back and rescheduling games all the time. They could have played the game Wednesday or Thursday-ish, maybe even Friday, and just kept pushing the games back a few to several days. Why didn't they do it? Because why? They didn't feel like putting the games on in the middle of the week? Not competing with yourself for viewers. You're competing with who? College football and other dumb bowl games? However. And why else does the NFL not care that they play this game? They feel like they're not going to lose any money this way. What do they care? They don't care. They sold the tickets for that game. What do they care how it plays out? All the playoffs games are going to happen still. They didn't lose any money. And here's your hot take, internet. And yes, you're probably going to think I'm cold and heartless for this. But the real reason why these events happened and these weird playoff scenario tie-breaking, maybe you'll get a host of wild card bullshit happens is because of money. The NFL's greed. They penalize, diminish, demean defensive players on how they go in and make a tackle. That's their job. Their job is to tackle ball carriers. That's the nature of the game. And you bend your knees a little bit, you bend at the waist a little bit, you thrust into the ball carrier. Your upper body is almost horizontal as you go in to make a tackle. It's damn near impossible to get your head out of the way. But you feel it's okay to penalize and diminish and demean defensive players in the way they make a tackle, which is their job, and do nothing to offensive players. No, I don't blame the Cincinnati Bengals ball carrier. I blame the NFL by not shifting any blame on these helmet-to-helmet hits to the offensive player. You essentially have given them free rein to seek out contact with defenders, use their helmets as a weapon to go through defenders. Yes, that's what happened. The ball carrier used his helmet as a weapon to defend himself against the defensive player. Doesn't sound right to you? Well, sometimes the best offense is a good defense. Defend yourself as a ball carrier using your weapon, your helmet in this case, and then maybe you won't get tackled. Happens all the time. It happens more than you realize it. Watch some of these hits and watch some of the ways these ball carriers get away from defenders. See what you think. Look at it from a different perspective. These offensive guys are using their helmets to go into defensive players. They don't have to. They can spin, they can juke, they can dodge, duck, dip, dive, or dodge, stiff arm, hurdle, use their shoulder to go into it. They don't have to use their head. Defender needs to be able to use his head, or the defender's head has to be in front because he also needs to get his arms and wrap around the ball carrier. The offensive player is not trying to wrap the defender so he can just throw his shoulder into him and bounce off. Maybe. If he can break the arm tackle as well. He doesn't need to lead with his head. Leading with his head does nothing for an offensive guy except risk injury, and in this case, death. Good job, NFL. You almost killed a player. Bunch of jackasses. And it was a defensive player. The ones you criticized for going in with their helmets. Hamlin didn't go in with his helmet. He went in with his chest. At least that's what it looked like to me. Now, maybe my eyes are bad. It's entirely possible that my eyes don't work correctly. What do I know? Okay, rant over. Let's go to the playoff picture. This is, as you can see at the top, the little, internet URL line, whatever the hell you want to call it. NFL.com/standing/playoff picture. They got a little fancy thing going on here. Now, what do we want as Ravens fans? I guess there's two opinions. Well, maybe three. Three is the third one would be do as worse as possible to get a better draft pick. Well, I think we're kind of, that's kind of over right now. So it's either, do you want a home playoff game or do you want an opponent that gives you the best chance of winning a playoff game? Because they're not the same. And as far as I'm concerned, you're only a real fan if you want your team to win in the playoffs. Who cares about a home playoff game? I want them to win. I want them to win or lose so bad they can get a good draft pick. So how is that going to happen? It's going to happen. How are either scenario going to happen? Well, for the Ravens to get a home playoff, a chance for a home playoff game, they would need to play the Bengals. Well, that's how it works. Is there's 7 teams getting a playoff spot. The first team gets a bye week, and then 2 plays 7 at 2, 3 plays 6 at 3, and 4 plays 5 at 4. The numbers being where they're seeded overall. As you can see, the NFL has listed them here on their website. Well, the Ravens can't be the worst playoff wild card team. So you can get rid of that scenario right there. It is possible for them to be the best wild card team. It's possible. They would have to win and the Chargers would have to lose. That's really it right here. And then the Bengals would have to get the number 2 seed somehow. However that is. But I don't really care. I don't really care. I want the Ravens to play either Jacksonville or the Titans. I don't know if they can beat the Bengals. I don't think so. So that only leaves them with the next division winner. And that's either the Jaguars or the Titans. So the Jaguars and the Titans, they're going to be the last division, last divisional winner. So that means they will be number 4. They will be the 4th seed. They can't get higher just the way the records are. It's not going to happen. So what we want is we want the Ravens to play the Jaguars or the Titans, whoever. To play the Titans again in the playoffs. See if we can finally win one. I guess we did win one, but doesn't seem like it goes the Ravens' way enough. And to be the top wildcard team, yeah, again, we'll have to have... I think I may have screwed up before. I don't remember now. Talking about home playoff game. I don't care about that. We want the Ravens... Yeah, see, if they're the second best wildcard team, they're going to play the second best divisional winner. And it's not going to be the Jaguars or the Titans or whoever wins that division. We don't even know yet. Because both those teams suck. Even though the Jaguars beat the Ravens. Maybe the Ravens just suck. So we do want the Broncos to beat the Chargers. Wish in one hand, shit in the other, see which one fills up faster, because that ain't going to happen. The Broncos suck ass too. So we're stuck with what we got. Oh well. I guess. Just going to have to see what the hell happens this Sunday. Hopefully. I can't believe Lamar Jackson ain't playing. I can't believe. Again. Oh my God. Ugh. God, is he ever going to get on the field? That's going to do it for me. Like, subscribe. I am the Angry Ryno. Fly, Ravens, fly.